As the waitress was serving the dishes, she accidentally brought out the scrambled eggs made by a kitchen helper at the restaurant. Unexpectedly, a star rating evaluation was taking place at that very moment. The gourmet expert had been unimpressed by every signature dish the restaurant served. Just then, the waitress brought over the scrambled eggs. With his patience nearly worn out, he reluctantly picked up his chopsticks and took a bite. The CEO assumed this ordinary dish had offended the expert. But to his surprise, the very next second, the expert's eyes lit up. Grabbing the CEO's hand, he said in a trembling voice that he wanted to meet the restaurant's head chef. The CEO was puzzled. Could this plate of scrambled eggs really be that delicious? Wearing a look of disbelief, he took a bite himself, only to discover that the taste was exactly the same as what he had eaten in his childhood. It turned out that when the CEO was little, he had the misfortune of being targeted by human traffickers, and it was a girl around his age who secretly rescued him. But because he suffered from severe anorexia, he was extremely picky about food. Fortunately, the girl was naturally gifted in cooking. Looking at the CEO, who was so thin he was almost skin and bones, she swore that she would nurse him back to health. So every day, she came up with different ideas and cooked all kinds of dishes for him. What amazed the CEO was that after eating the dishes made by the girl, he did not have any vomiting reaction at all. Instead, his appetite kept improving. In this way, under the girl's attentive care, his body gradually recovered. As they spent day and night together, special feelings also grew between them. The CEO took off his family heirloom jade pendant and gave it to the girl, promising that when he grew up, he would definitely marry her. But the good times did not last long. Soon, the CEO's parents found the place and forcibly took him abroad for treatment. By the time the girl rushed back home, all she could see was the sight of the CEO's car driving away. 10 years later, the girl had already grown up and had even become the personally trained successor of the god of cooking. To help his old friend's restaurant survive its crisis, her grandfather sent the woman to help at the restaurant. After arriving at the restaurant, she saw a group of chefs standing neatly in a line. Thinking they were welcoming the arrival of a master chef like herself, she stepped forward and greeted them warmly. The female head chef saw that she was dressed plainly and assumed she was a beggar, immediately calling security to throw her out. The reason the chefs were standing in a row, however, was actually to welcome the CEO, who had just returned to the country. Over all these years, he had never once forgotten the promise he made back then, so the moment he returned, he had his assistant search for the woman's whereabouts. At that moment, the CEO received a call from his grandfather, who told him that he had invited the granddaughter of the god of cooking to help them through this difficult time. But the CEO believed his grandfather must have been deceived, declaring that even without anyone's help, he would still be able to bring the restaurant back to life. Unexpectedly, the moment he hung up the phone, he saw a woman grappling with a group of security guards. He was about to step forward to stop them, but the sudden flower vase flying toward him scared him so badly that he froze in place. At the critical moment, the woman rushed straight over and shielded him, but her foot slipped, and she knocked the CEO to the ground, accidentally stealing his first kiss. Once the woman realized what had happened, she quickly got back up, but this terrified the assistant standing nearby, because the CEO had a strange condition. Whenever a strange woman touched him, he would suffer a severe allergic reaction and might even cough up blood. But strangely enough, this time not only was he completely fine, he did not even break out in a rash. Seeing that the CEO did not look sick at all, the woman worried that he might be trying to scam her on purpose, so she decided to personally examine him. She discovered that aside from insufficient blood circulation and a weak spleen and stomach, there was no pulse sign of an allergic reaction. However, if it was not treated in time, it might aggravate his hemorrhoids. The CEO